Superhero movies taught us a simple rule. The hero wins, the villain loses, and the world goes back to normal. Cities are saved, people cheer, the credits roll. But when you stop watching these movies as power fantasies and start watching what actually changes afterward, something unsettling becomes impossible to ignore. Across Marvel, DC, animation, and even darker superhero stories, the movies quietly admit the same thing. Winning was never the point. Because the heroes who survive aren't the ones who punch the hardest. They're the ones who are willing to live with the consequences. The Marvel Cinematic Universe pretends to be optimistic, but its stories don't actually reward power, they reward sacrifice. After the Avengers, New York is saved, technically, but the destruction becomes permanent. Entire buildings are destroyed, civilians are displaced, and the cleanup creates new villains like Adrian Toomes. In Age of Ultron, the Avengers stop global extinction, but Sokovia is erased from the map. That single win fractures the team, creates international fear, and leads directly to the Sokovia Accords. By Civil War, the enemy isn't a villain. It's the fallout of past victories. Even in Infinity War, Thanos doesn't win because he's stronger. He wins because the heroes are divided, exhausted, and reacting too late. And when Endgame reverses the snap, the universe isn't healed. 5 years of loss remain. The MCU quietly admits something important. Saving the world doesn't restore it. DC takes this idea even further. In The Dark Knight, Batman defeats every major threat. The mob collapses, the Joker is captured, Gotham survives, and yet the city never improves. Crime escalates instead of disappearing. Harvey Dent, Gotham's symbol of hope, collapses under pressure. Batman realizes the truth. Gotham doesn't need a savior. It needs someone to carry the blame. That's why he becomes a fugitive. Not because he failed, but because victory required a lie. Superman faces a similar problem. He stops invasions, defeats gods, saves cities, but fear never disappears. Governments distrust him, civilians question his presence. The movies quietly admit that power can't solve fear. It only makes people more dependent on it. The Spider-Verse films strip away the fantasy entirely. Miles Morales isn't chosen, he's bitten by accident. Every Spider-Person we meet carries the same burden: loss, responsibility, isolation. The multiverse doesn't reward Spider-Man. It demands something from them. When Miles jumps for the first time, he isn't rising. He's falling, and that visual tells you everything. Becoming a hero isn't ascension, it's acceptance. The movie quietly admits that destiny isn't empowering. It's heavy. The Boys removes the mask completely. Heroes don't save people, they manage perception. Homelander doesn't arrive to stop disasters. He arrives when cameras are ready. Vought doesn't create heroes to protect the public. They create them to control fear. Civilian casualties are edited out. Mistakes are buried under PR. The show quietly admits something brutal. Heroism doesn't exist without an audience. And power doesn't corrupt. It exposes who controls the story. Invincible delivers the same message, without subtlety. Mark Grayson doesn't become a hero through growth. He becomes one through trauma. Every fight teaches him the same lesson. Strength doesn't stop death. It witnesses it. Omni-Man doesn't betray Earth out of malice. He follows a system that values conquest over compassion. Mark keeps fighting even when he knows he'll lose. Not to win, but to slow the damage. The show quietly admits that heroism isn't about victory, it's about endurance. Across every franchise, genre, and tone, the message is consistent. Heroes don't fix the world, they survive it. The ones who last aren't the strongest. They're the ones willing to sacrifice reputation, happiness, or peace. Superhero stories never promised salvation, they promised responsibility. And once you notice that, these movies stop being about winning, they become warnings. So the next time you watch a superhero movie, don't ask who wins the fight. Ask what's left afterward, because that's the part the movies were quietly admitting all along.
And here we